With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves with Gary K.
Hey everyone, this is Gary K, and we are here with another pre-ISE edition of my video cast. And this time we're talking to Christie. They have been a 20-time, since the beginning of the show, exhibitor and supporter and founding member of the ISE show, which we'll talk about in just a second. But I'm here joined today with Steve Capling, the Senior Director of Marketing, and Joel St. Denis, who is the Director of Product Management. First off, Steve, I want to congratulate you on the 95th anniversary of Christie, which nobody's working there who's old enough to be there the first year, right?
No, not that I'm aware of, but I got to say that I've been here for almost a third.
And, you know, I do know a little bit about Christie's history, and there are a couple companies that sort of mirror Christie's history in the US as you're based in Canada. Christie didn't start making projectors. They started making some other kinds of appliances and things like that, didn't they?
We did, yeah. As a matter of fact, back in 1929, I think it started in the sort of battery business and evolved into cinema tables and then cinema projectors in the late 60s, I believe, thereabouts. And then we got into, not digital projectors, but projection technology, CRT-based, and then got into the digital realm. And then here we are today into laser phosphor and RGB pure laser.
And it's interesting because the technology that y'all put in movie theaters, which, you know, there's a chance of, if you've been in a movie in the last year, you've been in a Christie theater, is the same technology that's on the show floor at ISE, that core technology. And I'm curious, y'all always do a great job. I'll start with you, Joel. Y'all always do a great job theming the show and also creating experiences in and around the show rather than focusing on product specs and speeds and feeds and things like that. Tell me about what we can expect when we see your stand. And by the way, I should mention you're at 3K500.
Oh yeah, the booth. Yep, for sure, Gary. Yeah, we're doing very similar this year as we've done in the past. We find that we get good response from attendees who come to the show when they, instead of just taking it from one projector to the next or showcasing it or the LED wall or whatever, we try to use a lot of our technology working together. And Christie's evolved with the time. We used to just be traditional, film projectors, eventually went digital. Then we brought in things like LED, flat panels, LCDs. And then we basically acquired a company which is effectively Pandora's Box, just our media server. Yeah. We've had the X80, which is our high-end video processor, and we like to showcase all of those things working in conjunction as much as possible in our booth. So it's no different this year. We effectively we're launching 3 new projectors. We're still primarily known as a projector company, so we have a couple new 1DLP projectors. We have a 4K 13HS, which is the next generations of our current HS series product. It's a 13,000 lumen projector. We plan on having 6 of those blended together, working with Pandora's Box and doing an interactive display, which is using Widget Designer and the ability to detect motion and interactivity. So we're going to have that in like a sort of an immersive area. Then we're also going to be showcasing our brand new M4K15, which is an addition to the M series product family. We launched the M4K25 a couple years ago. Now we're launching something that's a little less lumens at 15,000, but is a good transition for any of our existing customers who had the lamp-based version of that product they bought years ago to replace it at that brightness level. And we really wanted to showcase the exceptional contrast ratio you can get with that. So we have a theater, I shouldn't say a theater. We have a meeting room that we darken twice a day between 11 and noon and between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the afternoon, where people are going to be invited to go in and see a short little 10-minute reel of some content with the high contrast to see how good you can get, the contrast you can get with an off-the-shelf projector and a high contrast lens. And then we're going to have our standard staples, which are high brightness projector, the Griffin series, a couple 4K 50s blended, and we're also going to have the M4K25, which is a big brother of the 4K 15. We have a bunch of those working together doing projection mapping on hexagons. So that's like the projection side, right? But then we wanted to make sure that people understand that the signal is being distributed in some cases through Terra, other cases directly from Pandora's box, and we have the ability to change the entire content of the whole booth at
Well,
once.
that's what's unique about you. You actually use your stuff to
That's
run
right.
your booth, and you've done that for a long time now.
Exactly.
And Steve, I'm curious. I'm gonna come back to you, Joel. But Steve,
Yeah.
I'm curious. What's your theme for this year's show, and how did you design it? And like, what's sort of the experience that the attendee will get?
It's funny you say experience, and what Joel's been talking about is a variety of experiences that we do have to demonstrate on our booth, and the theme is experiences everything, as a matter of fact. And it really it correlates to not only the experiences that we're creating on our booth, but it also to how easy our products are to use. It's also helps identify how our product is used to create, actually how our partners create unique experiences for their customers like you, museum attendees and concert goers, theme park guests, and really just, helps solidify the fact that, as Joel pointed out, we've got a variety of technologies that help create that overall holistic experience. So we're showcasing some smart technology, and that smart technology is what we create behind is used behind these exhilarating experiences.
Well, I mean, neither one of y'all have mentioned microtiles, and microtiles is one of the coolest things you have. I know that y'all have always historically been about projectors, but at last year y'all showed some really even finer pitch microtile products, and I'm curious if we'll see that at ISE or anything different.
Absolutely. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to remember exactly which pixel pitch will be there. I think both the new 0.75 and the new 1 millimeter options will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those will have great displays, but there's one microtile display that's actually going to be extremely large, and I think that's the 0.75 millimeter, and it's going to be almost 5 meters tall and over a meter wide, and it'll be an interactive display that people can walk up to and sort of interact with, of course. So it'll be a bit, we'll have a little bit of fun with that as well. So we're excited to showcase that and the limitless design freedom that enables, that microtiles LED enable.
Yeah, and I love the user experience of actually designing a system with microtiles is quite unique, and I think that's something that alone is worth coming by the booth. But I want to go back, Joel, and talk about the fact that y'all run everything, and you have the ability to put content anywhere you want to put the content. So if a client wants to see something and kind of visualize what they're gonna experience with each of the technologies. Are you also going AV over IP and using the Terra and in addition to?
We always use Terra now in all of our shows. We don't necessarily run every display with Terra, but we run several of them through Terra, which obviously gives us the advantage of how long cable runs and still being able to do 4K 60 at very minimal compression. So it's been a product that's been very well received. And the fact that a lot of our projectors have the capability built into them is also a benefit. And we are going to have an area where people are going to be able to see the Pandora's box on display and how they're controlling the content. So if somebody wants to see an explanation, they'll be able to walk over to that station and get an example of that. Also, they're going to be doing some smaller scale projection mapping from the Pandora's box media server, showcasing the latest version 8.9 of Pandora's box, which is a whole bunch of quality of life stuff. And I think I already mentioned that we're going to have some interactivity also, showcasing that, and all those things are all working together with our projectors. And I think the other thing too that I wanted to point out is we wish we could light every single thing we have, but we always have to make some choices given to the floor space. So we do have an area in the middle of our booth where we're going to have some static displays, projectors, and so on, where people can come and see some of the products that we don't have lit, so they can see the size and get an idea of
form factor and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm curious. I have a question about me, and I don't know which one of you would be best to address this about the media server market, because I see that market. If you went back 10 years ago, super high-end applications. Now it's a lot more mainstream application. I mean, even there are people in my neighborhood over the holidays that are doing like little mini media server, projection displays on their houses. Now, granted, that's not our segment of the market. But aren't you seeing applications now for Pandora's Box in large venue applications and auditoriums and permanent install kind of applications like that, where we're getting down to where we want to do multi-imaging and more of an experiential design around a lecture hall maybe, or something like that?
Absolutely, Gary. I think media servers have evolved over time. Like you said, they've become much more accessible, and Pandora's Box is just the same, where we've made it easier to approach. I remember when we first did the acquisition of the company and I was trying to learn the product, and it was like, oh my gosh, it's going to take me a long time. Now it's much more approachable to be used by the average users. I mean, there's even colleges that teach the product now, to students going through AV programs and things like that. And we go through the range of the spectrum. You're going to have customers who want to do still very complex attractions with interactivity and so on. And then you're going to have somebody who's not necessarily going to do the home application, even though Pandora's Box now is available as a software license as opposed to just hardware. I think we're still in the prosumer type market with those products.
Well, let me ask you about, hold on, you just mentioned it's available as a software license. So then do I just build my own PC based on certain a specification? Okay.
That's correct. We did that a few years ago, and to be honest with you, it was kind of a requirement. A lot of products in the market were doing that, and we changed and adapted to remain relevant, right? So that's definitely
go ahead, Steve.
I just want to quickly say, and one of the great parts about having Pandora's Box software available as a license is you can choose exactly what you need out of that software and the features that it has, so you can customize it for your own specific needs. It's great that way.
And I see that certainly in events, because the operator prefers their hardware, but then will adapt from the software standpoint. Certainly. And again, I see the same thing happen. I almost have this vision that 5 years from now, we'll be building classrooms with little baby media servers. Like, maybe you'll have a Pandora's Box Lite version or something like that. I think there's an opportunity for that, since it's getting to be software based. I mean, all that's, and if you don't really understand what we're talking about, this is a great opportunity. The team at Christie does a phenomenal job of actually helping you understand this and demonstrating this and explaining it. So definitely you're on hall 3 in stand 500. So 3K 500. In the meantime, go to christiedigital.com, but we're going to go there. We're going to do a booth tour. We're going to go around and see all the individual products, and we'll shoot videos on everything that you have there. Am I missing anything? Oh, Steve, I know you wanted to say something about the fact that this is you've been a founding member of ISE since we were back in Switzerland. I remember that show. That was a great show.
Yeah, to be very honest with you, I wasn't at that show myself, although I've been here that long, but we've certainly been at every one in the last 20 years. So it's great. And it's going to be nice to see our customers again and, show them the experiences that we have. And just touching back on the Pandora's Box side, I mean, we also have not only a Pandora's Box demo area on the booth, but we also offer a 90-day free trial of Pandora's Box for first-time users or those who want to upgrade from past version levels to be able to utilize and try with the new, features and see how it works for them. And one more demonstration I want to point out is actually at the same place on our booth. It's not like Pandora's Box, but we also have a new product called Hedra. And Hedra we're readdressing the control room market, Gary. So we now have a all-in-one secure control room video wall processor in a box called Hedra. It's basically a TA-compliant Linux-based video processor for secure applications with critical infrastructure. So we did debut it at Infocom last year.
Yeah, I remember.
We're going to have it again here. It's just perfect for smaller control rooms, mobile command centers, and, even operator workstations. We're seeing kind of trends or hearing about trends in the control room space that allow to reduce the number of operator monitors. And so Hedra, can also be used to manage and reduce the monitors required at each workstation in larger operation centers. Well,
again, all of it will be at booth 3K500. You can see most of the stuff we talked about is actually available on your website at christiedigital.com. But stay tuned. All of our coverage for ISD is at ravepubs.com. And Joel, I really appreciate you joining me. Steve, thanks as always. I look forward to seeing you guys live and in person in Barcelona. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and have a great day.
Thanks, Gary.